from the Secretariat had indicated as much, and there were questions that were directed at the CS.
Senator from Nairobi, that is the problem of not attending your committee meetings. You're a member of SBC, and this is a matter that was discussed at
Speaker,
SBC.
I'm not a member of the SBC, please. I attend committee meetings.
Okay.
Don't soil my reputation. You know that I left the SBC after serving for 2 sessions.
Okay, if you left SBC, then let me give you what transpired.
Please, but Speaker, you have to withdraw that I do attend committee meetings because my reputation is on the line. If it was a slip of the tongue, you just admit, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Nairobi, do not go on overreach. Please, I understand that you served in SBC committee, and it is only recently that you left that particular committee, and therefore you may not have the advantage of knowing what transpired yesterday at SBC. Just to inform you that when SBC sat yesterday, it considered a letter that was written by the CS Education. It is true what you said, that indeed the CS of Education was expected to appear before the House this morning. However, in that particular letter, he indicated that he will be involved in the drama gala in Nakuru as the Minister of Education, and therefore he will not be able to appear before the House. You know, the drama festivals actually fall within the Ministry of Education, and that is happening in Nakuru. And therefore, as the CS in charge of that docket, he cannot be able to be with us because he is the one who is actually midwifing and managing that particular event. And having deliberated the letter, the contents of the letter, the SBC found it fit to accept that reason as a valid reason. And that's why you cannot see the questions in today's order paper. I believe the Senator for Nairobi, that is satisfactory. We acknowledge that you're no longer serving in the SBC, and I want to state to the people of Nairobi and the people of Kenya that you always attend your committee meetings. If that will help your politics, so be it. So let's proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to raise a question in the Minister for Information, Communication and Digital Economy. Question number 055. Could the Cabinet Secretary state the strategies in place for the establishment of network connectivity in Todonyang, Merukuka, Natete, Lepeimukat, Natira, and surrounding areas to facilitate real-time security response and support the Kenya Defence Force, National Police Service, and local community? B. As the Ministry engaged with telecommunication providers such as Safaricom and Airtel to fast-track the deployment of communication masts and system in these high-risk locations, and if so, what are the timelines for completion? C. What actions are being taken to ensure that the security agencies, including KDF and NPR, have reliable and secure frequencies and communication channels to respond effectively to security threats in the region? And D, what immediate intervention will the Ministry take to bridge the communication gap before the full deployment of network infrastructure? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And indeed, as you said, I am familiar with this area, and I shall respond with your permission, Mr. Speaker. On the first question on establishment, and Mr. Speaker, kindly allow me to mention that there is an annotated document which was forwarded in this morning, and the only difference between the first answer and this one is where we have said certain things will happen. I asked my ministry to be able to put those things in perspective of time allocation for when those things will be done. So with your permission, I may respond, sir. The ministry, through the authority, interventions under the Universal Service Fund, USF, has successfully established a mobile cell tower in Todonyang, which is currently on air and providing mobile services to the surrounding community. Mr. Speaker, the authorities' coverage, according to the authorities' coverage data, Natira sublocation enjoys over 80% area coverage. To further address connectivity needs, the authority will conduct quality of service assessment, which will be done within the month of June 2025 in Marikuka, Natete, Lopei Mukat, Mr. Speaker, and Natira. The outcomes of these assessments will inform structured engagements with mobile network operators aimed at enhancing service delivery in the identified areas. On question B, Mr. Speaker, whether the ministry engaged in telecommunication providers such as Safaricom and Airtel to fast-track the deployment of communication masts and systems in these high-risk areas. In response, Mr. Speaker, yes, indeed. In line with the regulatory mandate, the authority requires licensed operators to extend services through universal service obligations embedded in their licensing conditions. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, the authority has provided direct support through USF, facilitating the deployment of mobile network infrastructure in such areas, notably under the Cellular Mobile USF project as follows, Mr. Speaker. 1, Phase 1 extended mobile cellular services to 10 sublocations, namely Nakoret, Nakurio, Lokangai, Lokudule, Lopusiki, Naposomuru, Kapus, Naipa, Loikipetot, Arengan, and Nadome, which is Silali. Phase 2, Mr. Speaker, technology is covered, Todonyang is covered under Phase 2 that has extended cellular mobile services to 13 sublocations, namely Loreng, Lortit, Puch, Nanam, Oropoi, Loremiet, Loitanit, Todonyang, Kataboy, Lorengelup, Kayamanik, Loduat, Namoraputh, and 5 sublocations within this phase, namely Kangitit, Ngilukia, Katilia, Loperot, and Kalapata, are still under the acquisition and are scheduled for implementation in the financial year of 25-26, Mr. Speaker. Phase 3 plans to cover 10 sublocations, namely Loboy, Lomiyan, Liwan, Kaitadet, Nadunga, Lokipoto, Loito, Mogila, Lotubai, Ecuador, and are still under site acquisition and are scheduled for implementation in the financial year 2026-2027, Mr. Speaker. Phase 4 plans to cover 16 sub-locations, namely Lochor, Edome, Atala, Kamusio, Tukwel, Locher, Ekeni, Katiko, Riakamor, Kokiselei, beg your pardon, Mr. Speaker, Nachukui, Lomekwi, Kitelomate, Namor Kirionok, Tarach, Kanaudong, Napiakar, Koyasa, Kaichede, and these that are still under tendering. These ones are still under tendering and are scheduled for implementation in the financial year of 2027-2028. On question C, the actions to ensure security agencies, including KDF and NPR, have reliable and secure frequencies and communications, Mr. Speaker. In response, Mr. Speaker, the authority assigns dedicated and secure frequencies to security agencies upon formal request. These frequencies are located on an exclusive basis, thereby ensuring reliable interference-free and secure communication channels for national security operations. On the next question, Mr. Speaker, about immediate interventions to bridge the communication gap before the full deployment of network infrastructure. In response, Mr. Speaker, the authority plans to undertake a field assessment within the month of June 2025 in the areas identified as established current communication gaps and requirements. Based on this assessment, Mr. Speaker, the authority will engage with licensed operators to explore interim measures, including possible network optimization and quality of service improvement initiatives to ensure short-term connectivity support as broader infrastructure deployment continues, Mr. Speaker. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, the authority remains committed to supporting national security, public safety, and digital inclusion through targeted regulatory interventions and strategic partnerships. The measures highlighted above demonstrate the ongoing efforts by the authority through the Universal Service Fund and collaboration with licensed operators to enhance network connectivity and ensure secure, reliable communications in high-risk and underserved areas such as Tondonyang, Merikuka, Netete, Lopei Mukad, and Natira. Moving forward, Mr. Speaker, the authority welcomes continued engagement with the Ministry, the Senate, and other stakeholders to address emerging challenges, accelerate infrastructure deployment and connectivity, ensuring that communication services are accessible and responsive to the needs of both citizens and the security agencies. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Lominan, you have a chance to ask 2 supplementary questions.
Chair, my supplementary question, after listening to the submissions of the Cabinet Secretary, could the Cabinet Secretary explain to this Senate why has been the delay of establishing network in the border areas of Turkana County, and even not Turkana County alone, even in the nation? For example, there is poor network in border of Kibich and Ethiopia. Nadapal, border between Southern Sudan and Kenya, which is Lokchogyo. At the same time, in Logriama, a place called Urum, which is bordering Uganda and Kenya. And this delay of establishment of network in those border areas has really became cumbersome for security forces to act when a problem or incidents has happened. It becomes difficult for them to assist the citizen in that place. So when will the ministry establish a border network to confirm to the citizen that security services will be available anytime?
Honorable CS, you may respond.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the supplementary question. And in response, Mr. Speaker, the ministry's emphasizes very much on connectivity of high security areas, and indeed the entire country, Mr. Speaker. But for areas where we do not have fiber optic, Mr. Speaker, we are working with satellite providers like Starlink, ATC Mast, so that we can use their facilities to be able to give connectivity, especially on the mobile platform. But you realize, Mr. Speaker, that we have a plan to run 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic. But on those areas where there are security issues, we rely on our collaboration, Mr. Speaker, with the other providers like ATC, Safaricom, Starlink, those that have capacity to do satellite provision of services. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Senator Daniel Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable CS, just note down the questions, because I'm going to allow about 10 senators to ask questions. Thereafter, you will rise to respond to them at a go. Proceed.
And first, let me thank the Speaker for taking the Senate to Turkana, because this question is very familiar. And Mr. Speaker, when we were there, a lot of committees visited the county. Mr. Speaker, I would like to welcome the CS and ask him, now that security is very much connected to communication and is in charge of communication and to an extent development, what is he doing about that so that the Turkana area and the big potential of having big towns there and big hotels in the future can be realized?
Senator Mungatana.
Asante Bwana Spika. Waziri, mimi ningependa kukuuliza, tangu ulipochukua mamlaka hiyo, and congratulations and pongezi kwa kupewa hiyo nafasi. Tunafurahia sana wale wenzetu ambao tulikuwa na wao wakipewa hizo nafasi. Swali ambalo tungependa kuuliza ni kwamba tangu ulipoingia pale, je, wizara ama wewe umetoa mwelekeo wa namna ambayo hizi simu za rununu na telecommunication itafika katika Kenya nzima, haswa sehemu zetu za hizi gatuzi ambazo ziko kando kando? Kwa mfano, sehemu yetu ya Tana River, utakuta ni katika zile miji mikubwa peke yake ambao unapata simu za rununu zinafanya. Ukianza kuingia ndani kunaingia shida. Sasa nilikuwa nataka kuuliza, je, kuna mpangilio mwafaka, mpangilio maalum katika wizara ambayo umewekwa na pesa ya kusema mwaka huu tutaweka pesa fulani Tana River, area hizi ambazo hazijashikwa na simu zipate? Mwaka ujao itakuwa ni gatuzi lingine. Mwaka wengine, je, kuna mpango mwafaka? Na kama huko tafadhali weka kwa meza ama table ili tuione na tujue huo mpangilio na pesa ambayo serikali imeweka kwa ajili ya kueneza. Sio sisi kuja kuuliza maswali, yani tuwe na mpangilio sawa sawa. Waziri, tueleze. Asante. Asante.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a journalist of good and long standing in this country, I would try to be very clever, Mr. Speaker, because this is a very wide area. I would try to squeeze in it one question. If I fail, just pretend it's one question, Mr. Speaker, so that I can pass a message. It's an important one, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
just ask one question, only one question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the ICTCS is a CS in the 21st century Kenya, not some banana republic in the region or elsewhere. An era where everybody is talking about speeds of communication, not planning to establish networks. Mr. Speaker, my concern, which is now my question, is at what point will we put to an end the planning phase and begin now to deal with current issues of enhancing the speeds of our communications? We cannot be talking about we are planning to roll out network connectivity in the 21st century. That is something we cannot do. Mr. Speaker, can he table, maybe in the next time that he appears, a comprehensive list of regions in this country that are not even covered by 2G, because those regions are there, that we know who we are, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Senator Kathuri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the question listed by our colleague from Senator for Turkana County is very, very important in this era. Mr. Speaker, besides those pockets in Turkana County, we remember, especially in Loktang, just the other day there were killings in that area. And one of the reasons why maybe that happened is because there was no proper communication, such that the bandits who came from Ethiopia invaded a village that had no communication network. It is the responsibility of the ICT ministry. It is the responsibility of communication authority to ensure that our service providers have connected networks across the country. And that is why we have this Universal Service Fund, Mr. Speaker. When I was a member in the National Assembly, I cited this fund when I was the chair of Special Funds Committee. And Mr. Speaker, what we established is that a lot of money is just lying in this authority. And I remember that time, the end of state then, President Uhuru Kenyatta once made a remark that that money should be given to the police because that money was lying into that was, I think, in 2021. Mr. Speaker, there is no reason at all that some areas have no communication. There is an agreement between the service providers like Safaricom, Airtel, and the rest that they should do that coverage within a specific time, Mr. Speaker. So this question raised by my friend Romanen is very important. There are many other pockets, even the high potential areas, even where there is no, they are not remote rural areas. Even in Nairobi, there are some areas with no network. In Meru, my house itself has no connectivity where I live. So it is very shameful in this era that we have such pockets in this country without connectivity. So my question, Mr. Speaker, is this. What does this money do, Universal Service Fund? How is it distributed across the country? It is in billions, of course, I know. It is in billions. My friend Kabogo Waziri, it is in billions. Your people should give you facts and figures because you enjoyed the ministry the other day. How do they distribute this money, Mr. Speaker? Because sometimes they go and do labs for computer labs for a school where maybe they know they come from, the officers at the ICT. They do another one where they are known. They do another somewhere else. Mr. Speaker, I want you to give a ruling that they should provide in the last 5 years, where has this money gone? In which counties, in which areas of this country, Mr. Speaker? Fortunately, I didn't know about this fund, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Meru, you've asked your question. Now you're making a
I wanted to sink into the management of that
no, the CS,
USF.
the CS has understood you. Just give an opportunity to the CS to respond to.
Yeah, but okay, Mr. Speaker. Must have raised, but maybe if I get another opportunity, I should still hammer this thing because, Mr. Speaker, I know that fund does not go to the right places. That is why even in Marsabit, so many areas have no connectivity. That money is not used prudently. Universal Service Fund. It's in billions. Every time you make a call, Mr. Speaker, like this, 1 minute, some money goes to the fund. It goes to the fund. Even if you call you receive or you make, there is some sense which goes to the fund. Where does this fund go to?
Thank you. Senator for Nairobi.
You know, Honorable Speaker, we are talking about far-flung areas and security, insecurity-prone areas, but I can confirm that my mother-in-law does not have network at her home in Matungu. And it becomes very embarrassing, sometimes very difficult for her to video call her 8-year-old granddaughter. So it is a nationwide problem. So I wanted to understand, Honorable CS, there was a time when we were told that Telkom Kenya was going to be the one in charge of rolling out the national fiber optic network. Why are you relying on these private entities like Safaricom and Airtel to roll out this national fiber optic network when you told us that Telkom Kenya had been charged with that and they should have capacity to roll out that infrastructure? I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Boni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to congratulate my brother, Governor CS William Kabogo, for coming back into the public space. We have a long history together. I want to further congratulate you, CS, for assuring us that you are doing everything possible to improve network connectivity. CS, given that after connection, the service comes at a fee to the consumers, what are you doing in view of the obscene profits declared by Safaricom and Airtel? What are you doing to cut the cost of mwananchi using those services?
Senator Dulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I wish to take this opportunity also to congratulate the CS. CS, my question is on more specifically northern Kenya, where there is insecurity. I know CA has done some good job, specifically in my county, after pushing them for the last 13 years in communication with them. They have actually put up several boosters in certain areas. So my question is, there are so many areas in northern Kenya where people are still climbing tree to communicate. What plans do you have? Because an attack can happen now, and people are unable to reach for any assistance. Do you have any plans to make sure that those areas have connectivity? Thank you.
Senator Wafula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just want to ask our good CS that the far-flanked zones of the great county of Bungoma, similarly enjoy networks from their neighborhoods. What are you doing to ensure that Bungoma, Mount Elgon, Sirisi, and parts of Bumula, bordering my friend Sifuna's in-laws, we enjoy coverage as other Kenyans? Thank you, Honorable Waziri.
Senator Okoito Mtata.
Honorable CS, my question is with regards to connectivity. What attempts are there to use satellite technology instead of relying on terrestrial technologies to ensure universal connectivity for Kenyans, irrespective of where they are? And you have seen this thing coming in sometimes to be very, very heavy. During elections, when you are told that some areas are not covered by network. So what efforts is the government of Kenya doing to engage in satellite technologies that can enable us to have universal coverage? Thank you, Bwana Waziri.
Senator Wamatenga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to ask a question to my friend CS William Kabogo. My question is, noting that the government has committed itself into providing Jitume hubs across the country. Tetu sub-county in Nyeri received the 51st one that was launched some times back. The young people and living around that area are using it. However, the connectivity, because of lack of fiber optic connectivity, and the speed is very low. What plans does the CS have to ensure that all Jitume hubs enjoy high speed so that the young people do not spend a lot of money on slow speeds to upload their work? Thank you, Bwana CS.
Senator Lelegwe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is related to what Senator Dulo just asked. But specifically, could the Cabinet Secretary clearly clarify the government policy and any specific plans regarding the expansion, strengthening of mobile network coverage in areas affected by insecurity, particularly in the northern Kenya and Kerio Valley counties, where cat rustling and related insecurity threats remain prevalent? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, network coverage actually is a very important thing. But today, everything and every shilling that you're paying to this country goes through e-citizen. And most of the Kenyans, actually, especially in peripheries like northern Kenya, Turkana, one of the largest areas, does not have network. Now we are being told to pay school fees through e-citizen. What is the plan from the ministry to connect, to improve on the connectivity so that the other Kenyans, especially in northern Kenya, can enjoy the service of the e-citizen? Honorable Speaker, Safaricom has a huge profit every year that it's making. CA is receiving a lot of money that is idle, as it has been said. The government is getting a lot of taxes. But the problem is this country, half of it, Mandera, Wajir, and the Turkana, is actually 20% of this landmass. And there's no network. Insecurity is there. People are being killed every day. Chiefs are being kidnapped. Policemen are killed just because they cannot get rescue due to lack of network. So what is the ministry doing to improve and urgently improve the services of network coverage? And why is it that Safaricom has a monopoly for providing networks for this country? Thank you so much.
Senator Morgo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to ask my question. And congratulations, CS, for being appointed. My question concerns the coverage along West Pokot and the border between West Pokot and Uganda. Ugandan coverage is so powerful that it comes into 5 kilometers or even 10 into Kenya. And so it begins to chew your money right away. You make a call, by the end of it, you run out. So why is it that the Kenyan side is weak and Ugandan is powerful?
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond to those questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I attempt to answer clearly and giving details, but I also, Mr. Speaker, want to undertake that we shall supply comprehensive answers to these questions within the next 3 days so that every member's question is properly answered. But I shall attempt to answer. On the first question, Mr. Speaker, why the delay in establishing networks in borders of Ethiopia, South Sudan, Uganda, hinder security forces? When to establish networks? Mr. Speaker, we are not planning. We are actually laying fiber. And as I said earlier, Mr. Speaker, we target to do 100,000 kilometers of fiber. And this is happening between ICTA, which is the ICT authority, and Kenya Power. And why Kenya Power, Mr. Speaker, is because as I came in, I found that it was established, Mr. Speaker, that doing it through Kenya Power over last mile would have been quite easy and faster. So we actually are on top of it. And on the issue of those areas that have digital divide, which have no coverage, is where we are working with satellite providers, like we just licensed Starlink, which is very widely used even in urban areas. And we hope to continue to collaborate with them for places where we have not been able to reach our fiber optic. Mr. Speaker, on the question from Honorable Manzo, security is connected to communications. What he is doing, what I'm doing to support development of these towns, especially in Turkana, Mr. Speaker, it is through this fiber optic that we would want to connect the entire republic with high-speed and reasonably priced internet. But we shall give a detailed plan, or not plan, action that is going on to connect the republic. To my friend, the Honorable Mungatana, how telecommunications will reach in the areas like Tana River. Mr. Speaker, we are already laying cable to those areas. We shall give the Honorable Member details of where we will have reached by the end of this month and what we plan to do in the next 3 months. And Mr. Speaker, the activity is very well funded by several projects, donor projects, World Bank and others, and also use of the USF fund for the purposes that it was set to be used. A few members have said, Mr. Speaker, that a lot of money lie idle. We should be able to give the same details of what has been spent in the last 5 years and what is happening now with the USF fund. It is my commitment that that money shall be used in accordance with the law, but also to make sure that Kenya is completely connected. I think it was Honorable Enoch. Space of communication, at what point will be end planning stage and enhance action? As I said, Mr. Speaker, it is now that we are connecting. We are not planning. We are connecting Kenya now. We have very little funding from GOK, Mr. Speaker. But as I said earlier, we have development partners who have interest in seeing that we stay on top of this business. As you know, Kenya is probably the most advanced country in terms of connectivity in Africa. But we do not want to be the first ones in Africa or number one in Africa, but play at the global space. We are doing it in phases, Mr. Speaker. State to stage, which is yearly what we have done every year. We have done already 3 phases. And Mr. Speaker, we shall provide the details. From Honorable Catherine, I think. You may excuse me, Mr. Speaker, if I didn't get the name right. It's a responsibility of CA to ensure connectivity in the whole country. Money is lying idle with the authority. We should provide how money has been spent. I have given that commitment, Mr. Speaker, that we shall give the entire details. And that's why we are deploying fiber and last mile connectivity project. And a commitment of 10 billion shillings has been put to ICTA and Kenya Power Lighting Company, the details of which we shall provide, Mr. Speaker. The breakdown for the last 5 years, as per the request, will be given to Parliament in the next 3 days. The money cannot be misused. It's guarded by the licensee, who are the responsible agency. Mr. Speaker, that is a commitment given to me by the DG, who is part of the support team I have here. And I shall take him to task to be able to give that information to the House, Mr. Speaker. From Senator for Nairobi, Honorable Sifuna, it's ICTA which is doing it, not Telecom. I know there was a last connectivity to hubs and government institutions, especially the centers of excellence in constituencies. But Telecom itself has got huge problems where they may not even be able to do that last mile. We are now doing it with other providers. And government is committed to making sure that all 53,000 connections to government institutions will be done probably before the end of next year through fiber. Also necessary to state that we are working with most companies like the American Towers to be able to provide part of the 25,000 public Wi-Fis. Mr. Speaker, to note is that some of the public Wi-Fis, when I came in, most of them were not working. And the reason being, Mr. Speaker, is that the part of sustainability was not considered during inception. But we are now trying to release these public Wi-Fis to young men and women who will man them and probably have a small fee of 5 shillings or thereabout, so that they can keep them lit. Because internet is available, it's just a matter of making sure that they are working. I think Honorable my friend Mheshimiwa Bullfighter, what are we doing in the view of absence, view of obscene profits, that what we are doing to cut costs of connectivity? Mr. Speaker, we have told these undertakings to lower calling rates and data packages. That negotiation is happening between CA and the providers. But as I said earlier, we prefer to connect fiber optic, which is government internet, to most of these places so that it is reasonably priced or almost free for the public to use high-speed internet, Mr. Speaker. This, they say, is currently ongoing and in phase 4. Many places in northern Kenya, Mr. Speaker, climb trees. I think it was Lady Mheshimiwa, I can't remember the name. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I note Honorable Fatima. We are currently, again, not planning, but we are laying cable, and where we cannot do because of certain reasons like security, Mr. Speaker, is where we intend to use masts that are already there and use satellite internet provision through Starlink and those that have recently been licensed by CA. There was a question, Mr. Speaker, on Bungoma, what we are doing to ensure there is connectivity. The plan, Mr. Speaker, as the rest of Kenya, is to lay fiber. We have issues, Mr. Speaker, on efficiency of ICTA and Kenya Power. And I have them in my office almost every other week, Mr. Speaker, trying to push on this issue of last mile. And we hope that we should be able to pull up our socks to deliver on this very noble and important mandate. From the Honorable Matinga, Mr. Speaker, connecting Gitume hubs, yes, we are on top of it. We are connecting all Gitume hubs and one in every constituency, and more so, those are centers of excellence. But we also plan to do 1,450 digital hubs, one in every ward. And that is happening in collaboration also with the members of parliament who amended the law to allow them to use CDF to construct and us to provide the link. And this will be done with government Wi-Fi, which will not be paid for by the Gitume hub. So we're on top of it, Mr. Speaker. Government policy, Mr. Speaker, on expanding mobile connectivity in northern Kenya. We are working with security agencies and mobile network operators to deploy. And what our plan is to improve connectivity in Wajir, Mandera, etc. is we have concentrated in this region and such areas. And as I said earlier, Mr. Speaker, we shall provide details of what has been done so far and what we intend to do before the end of this financial year. Mr. Speaker, I think it was the last question on coverage in West Pokot and Uganda and why Uganda seems to be stronger. It may happen, Mr. Speaker, that Uganda may be stronger, but we have places where you pick either Kenyan signal or pick Uganda signal. But we plan to be able to make sure that we have good connectivity in the entire republic and not limited only to border towns. Mr. Speaker, I submit. And as I have said, some of the supplementary questions may not have been properly addressed, and we shall seek your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, to get us a copy of the answer through the clerk so that we may answer these questions substantively to the satisfaction of the House. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Senator Karungo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to ask my question. And I'm happy to see the CS, Kabogo, who hails from my county, that is Kiambu County. And it's good to tell the House that we used to work together between the year 2013 and 2017, when he was my governor, and at that particular time, I was the MCA. So congratulations once again, CS Kabogo. Now, Mr. Speaker, my question, because from everyone who is asking, we can tell the whole country is suffering when it comes to network coverage. But allow me, as a member of the Senate Caucus on Futures, that is Foresight, ask, after we get the whole network then what next? And this brings this question, Mr. Speaker. Is the ministry working with the Ministry of Education and KICD, that is Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, to integrate AI and emerging technologies into the curriculum of basic and tertiary education, Mr. Speaker? Because we are in the times of AI, artificial intelligence, and very soon we are going to lose jobs. They say, as per the national AI strategy that the CS launched a few weeks ago, we are going to lose 40% of our jobs. So my question is, so that we protect and we see that we will enjoy the opportunities that will come with the AI, is the ministry working with the Ministry of Education? Thank you.
Senator Onyonka. Senator Onyonka.
My apologies, Mr. Speaker. I also would like to be in that category of Honorable Kabogo's friends who wants to say congratulations, yes, and indeed the way you are speaking, I'm encouraged because it sounds like you've got the bits and pieces. The question I wanted to ask you, we have a new and latest development called ChatGPT, which comes under the 5 which is a new technology that is being introduced. I wanted to find out from you whether either your ministry or the Communication Authority of Kenya is in the process of creating platforms where young men, women, and even our colleges and universities can be introduced to this new technology so that we can catch up with our tomorrow. Thank you, sir.
Honorable CSU may now proceed to respond.
Mr. Speaker, I thank members for congratulating me, and indeed the Honorable Karongo Wathangwa was with me when I was governor in that county. Beg your pardon, Mr. Speaker. The question of whole country is suffering on the network coverage, and Mr. Speaker, this is true. Although we pride on having 121% mobile coverage in the country, and approximately 62% of coverage on fiber, which we would want to take to 90% in the current, in the coming financial year, Mr. Speaker. On the issue of AI, Mr. Speaker, you realize that, Mr. Speaker, we did actually launch our AI strategy, which was between our ministry in collaboration with the European Union, and now are working on a policy, Mr. Speaker. And we hope that before the end of this financial year, we shall have a policy in place. We are integrating, Mr. Speaker, artificial intelligence into the curriculum, and we are working closely with the Ministry of Education to be able to bring AI into this space of ICT, Mr. Speaker. And as you know, this is a field that is really changing. And to join that with the question from the Honorable Onyonka, Mr. Speaker, ChatGPT is in very wide use right now in the world, and Kenya is not left behind, Mr. Speaker. We urge Kenyans to be able to participate in this space, but the question was whether we are going to encourage Kenyans and whether we'll come up with a way of making AI learning possible in the country, and it is true that is what we are doing, Mr. Speaker. We also intend probably to be able to bring into law on good use of this space, because it could be good, used for good and for bad, Mr. Speaker. And that is work in progress, Mr. Speaker. The Communications Authority, Mr. Speaker, is working on these areas that the Honorable Nyonka has asked, and we should be able to give a comprehensive reply to most of these questions that members have asked, Mr. Speaker. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable Senators, that brings to the end our interaction section with our interaction session with the Honorable CS. Honorable CS, you are released and you may leave at your own pleasure. Now, it is 10:41. We will proceed with the other limb of this morning's order paper.